Hello everybody, this is me, Trisha Shinkle. Welcome back to another weekly energy reading for the week of March 29, 2021. Whew. So before we get into the reading, I just feel like there's a lot of energy going on. When I'm tapping into it, it kind of feels really powerful. So before I get into it, I just wanted to get into the announcements. Just let you guys know that I do have some awakening coaching spots available right now. I am booking consultations if you're interested. So these types of coaching, this is for empaths. These are for you out there, those sensitive nature, the ones that are having a hard time right now, managing your energy, getting to that place in relationships where you feel comfortable and safe, and you know that you have the right types of relationships around you. That's big. And you know, if you don't have those right types of relationships around you, it can be really draining. It can be really hard, and you may be giving too much and not getting enough back, right? So this coaching is for you to get what you need out of it, and also tap into that superpower and start using it for your own advantage, right? So if that's something you're interested in, let me know, message me. I am here to help you, and I am booking consultations all week. All right. So in the reading, so like I said, I mean, when I tap in, I kind of get, I don't know if it's just, you know, there's just been a lot going on or what, but I feel like the first thing that came to me when I tapped in and said, hey, guides and angels, what is it that we need to do? What is it that we need to get out of this week? And the first thing that came in was an exercise, a quick little exercise. It's kind of like a mood booster, right? Cleansing your aura. But you're going to do it in a way that you're going to light up your body instead of, you're going to be clearing it for sure. But we're going to do it in a different way. So I'm going to get you to do this with me now. So if you can't do this, you can always come back to the video after and try it again. But yeah, so this is a visualization. This is something I just wanted to start with, kind of get into, and you can use this on a daily basis to restore your energy and to cleanse your body. And get rid of all that negativity that's been hanging around, or if you've been picking it up from other people that you don't want, or if you're having a hard time figuring out what's your energy and what's not, this is a good way to get rid of it entirely. So the visualization really is, I'm going to get you to just to hold your hands over your heart. Start over your chest. Close your eyes. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, really filling up that belly, and out through the mouth. All the way out. Good. In through the nose. Fill up that belly and out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Completely let go and relax your entire body. Now, in this visualization, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at your body, but you're going to notice all the cells. Just notice all the cells that you have in your head, in your shoulders, in your arms, in your chest, in your hips and legs and feet, all the cells in there. Just visualize them. Get a good image in your mind. Forget about everything else. Just look at the cells. Now those cells, I want you to imagine that they're all light bulbs. Every single part of your body. What we're going to do is we're going to turn up that dial. Whatever setting is it at, we're going to turn it up just a little bit. Now imagine every part of your body is now starting to get brighter and brighter, and you can see that light of each cell in your body getting brighter and brighter. And your whole entire body starting to become more and more illuminated. Imagine this in your head, in your neck, in your shoulders, in your chest. In your chest, you might even see a bigger one, a bigger light, a source within it. Turn that light on in your chest. Just allow that light to grow and just sit in it and just tune into that light in each one of your cells. And what does it feel like? Just get comfortable with it. Just know, just be aware of it. In your legs and down to your feet. Every part of your body. Now we're going to turn that dial up even brighter. Go ahead now. Illuminate your body. Imagine all the dark places now in your body are being illuminated with light. Getting brighter and brighter. And now your whole entire body is radiating light. Your skin is now so bright. It's shining and filling up the room that you're in. Now take a deep breath in and out. And every time you take a breath in, that light gets brighter and brighter. And every time you breathe out, all the negativity, tension will just be released. Go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. Do you feel illuminated? Do you feel bright? I do. I honestly do, which is kind of funny. It's interesting because when I tuned into the energy, the guys are like, we need to do this. This needs to happen. So I was like, okay, let's do it, right? So let me know how you feel. Take note of what you felt like before we did the exercise. And if you want, you can do the exercise again later. It's just a couple minutes, right? You don't even have to give it a lot of time. It's just imagine your entire body illuminating. Yes, Kim. Hi, thank you so much for coming on. That's the thing. That's where the true healing comes from. When I give my clients Reiki, I am imagining light coming from my hands, being generated from here and going out into the body. And I'm directing that light into different parts of your body so that your body can start to heal itself, because your body's programmed to heal itself. It's meant to do that. It's just that we're too busy, with all of the things that going on, that we don't give ourselves a chance to rest. And it's only when you're resting is when the body can, natural healing abilities can start kicking in, right? So if you just sprinkle that exercise in your day every once in a while, whenever you remember it, whenever it comes to mind, or if you want to set a reminder, that's going to start making a big difference. Trust me. All right. So let me see. I'm going to just check my notes here. So what I wanted to know from the energy this week is, what kind of messages where do we need to focus our attention? What is going to help us get the best out of this week, right? And what came up was, pay attention to what triggers you. And the thing is, sometimes when we get triggered, we're so emotional about it that we completely miss or dismiss the message hidden within the trigger. So what triggers are, these are really pointing out the areas in your life that you're still asleep, that you're still not quite aware, you're not conscious of. These are like unconscious patterns in your life that are being triggered to bring your awareness to them, right? And the degree of the trigger will show how long it's been bothering you. So if something triggers you so bad, you have a really big emotional reaction to it, that just means that it's been something that has been asleep for a very long time. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that now it's coming up, and now you have a chance to actually change your perspective on it, right? And once you're aware of it, just being aware, you're shining light into a dark space, right? That frees up a lot of space, because then what you're doing is, now that you're aware of the trigger, it can't trigger you the same anymore. It can't affect you the same way that it always used to. Now you've shifted it. now that you are aware of whatever it is that's triggering you and the degree that it's been triggering you. So obviously it's been bothering you for a while, but you've been asleep about it. But now you have great opportunity to change it, to break the karma, to step off the hamster wheel and free yourself from it, right? So that is what this week is all about. The energy, the messages that are coming through is just pay attention to what gets you, what's really, driving you crazy. What have you been avoiding, right? Now is the time to kind of just be aware. You don't have to do anything about it. Just be aware of it. And being aware of it is shining that light on it. So I wanted to know, what is the positive takeaway from this, right? What are we getting out of this? What can we take away from this? And what came out was relief. That's what you get when you bring awareness to those triggers and you see them for what they really are. They're signposts. They're saying, hey, this is something that you've been afraid of. This is something that's been bothering you, but you haven't really paid attention to it. So we're going to make this trigger really loud so you can pay attention to it, right? And so you're aware of it. And as soon as you do that, you get relief from it. That's big. That's really big. And that's part of the work that I do with my clients, right? Too. So what I wanted to know also is I asked, what can we do to make the best out of the week ahead, right? How can we make sure that we get everything we need from it? And what came up out of that was start envisioning the life you want to see for yourself. Start envisioning what you want your life to be like. Start paying attention to those small details. What do you want your days to be like? What kind of people do you want to have in your life, right? Don't think about what you have right now. If there are certain aspects of what you have right now that you really enjoy, definitely keep that in there. But also start imagining, start opening up that heart, opening up that brain, opening up that mind, and getting into that place of dreaminess, of allowing that inner child, that inner dreaming, that inner imagination to come out. It's being asked to come out this week. So there's something in there. The message that came through was dream and dream big, right? Because there's only one way that you're going to get to what you want. And that's by focusing on it, right? And so often we're so afraid to focus on what it is that we want, because then we think that we're not going to get it. And then that shifts the energy, right? You telling yourself, oh, well, I want this, but I'm never going to get it. It's not going to allow you to get it, right? So we got to pay attention to what thoughts are feeding those emotions, that's feeding those dreams, right? And when you find those thoughts that are saying, no, I can't get it, say, thank you. Thank you for showing me that I'm afraid that I might not make it, but I'm going to do this anyway. Thank you, fear. I send you love, right? Send it love. Whatever the fear is, whatever that story is that's telling you that you can't do something, just say thank you. Thank you for showing me that I have a fear around this, but I choose to see this through. I choose to see what's on the other side. Become curious. And that is how you move past walls. That is how you break down walls and break through glass ceilings and get the life that you want, right? So what I also asked the guides was, what messages do you have for us this week? What do we need to know? And the biggest thing was, don't be afraid to dive in deep. Don't be afraid to look at those deep, dark parts of you and know that even if you look at them, if you just bring your awareness to them, you're going to bob back up to the top. We are corks, right? No matter how deep you go into your pain, you're always going to bob back up. And just knowing that makes it a little bit more easy to go and do these things, right? Because nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. And even when you're in your pain, that's only temporary. But it's only until we look at it and say, okay, well, why am I feeling this pain? What story is creating this pain that I'm thinking, that I'm telling myself, right? What am I repeating over and over again that is keeping me here? I don't want to be here anymore, right? It's time to move on. So I'm going to pull out a deck of cards, and I'm going to bring out my Sacred Geometry deck, activations deck. And I want to know, what do we need to activate? What energy in our aura What vibration, what frequency do we need to emanate to start attracting our dream life, right? That would be fun, right? What do we need to do? What do we need to have in our zone, in our area, right? That's going to attract what we want, right? Ooh, okay. This is awesome. Okay, so 2 cards popped out. So in order to start attracting your dream life, and in order to start attracting whatever it is that you need in your life to move forward with ease, the first energy that we need to activate in our aura is realization. I don't know if that's backwards or not, but realization. So the energy of realization, so the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of your heart-centered truth, right? So tuning in to what it is that you actually want, because a lot of the times we do things for other people, but we don't do things for ourselves. So it's just turning into our hearts for the first time, maybe ever, and saying, hey, what is it that I want? What do I want? What do I see for myself, right? This is the time to start asking those questions. And it says, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. So in order to manifest everything that you want and bring into this world, you have to hold it within you already, right? It has to be an active vibration and active frequency in your body in order for it to come to you, right? Because we attract what we are. And if you notice that you're attracting things that you don't quite like, or you're not very excited about, then tune into, what are you feeling? What are you emanating, right? It just start there. That's what it is. So the feeling of realization. So when you get a realization, it's kind of like that freeing moment, right? You get into this energy, you get into this place, you're like, oh my gosh, like you have this realization. It's a really impactful moment for you, because then it's that shift. It's the breaking off. You're breaking chains, that have been weighing you down. You break away from that and you get into this space. You're like, okay, this is why I've been feeling this way. This is why these things have been happening to me, right? And it's just being in that place is enough to start shifting the vibrations and the frequencies and start bringing it up, right? The next one that popped out was universal love. 4-4, which, by the way, 4-4 is a very potent number. Anything that's doubled is any numbers. So numerology, if you're familiar with numerology, double numbers means double the potency, right? So 4-4 is one of the master numbers, and 4 is for stabilization, for centeredness, for just being, 4 has the 4 legs, right? They have the 4 corners. And that's for building great foundations, right? And that's what it's all about. So double that, you added that with universal love, the frequency. So activating this frequency of universal love within you says that the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel with each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself, right? So when you are disconnected from universal love, you feel it. It's heavy, it's hard, things are shitty, right? But when you then step into alignment with universal love, you see, it's like, I envision universal love, or like the vortex, you could say, right? As this column of light. And all you really have to do is kind of step into it. Just take one step forward and then open up your hands, raise them up, put them up, and just take it in. Just soak it into every fiber of your being, right? And just thinking of that itself will illuminate you, right? And it'll go back to that exercise that we just did at the beginning of the episode, right? So activating the energy of realization, activating the energy of universal love, that is what we need to carry in your aura today to attract, well, this week really, to attract what it is that you want, that dream life, right? That's how you're going to manifest these things. Okay, so I wanted to tune into a deck of cards and pull out another message from our guides. So if you're here, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know how your week has been going. I love connecting with you guys and I love hearing from you. So let me know who's here while I am shuffling. Oh, okay. Well, the cards are just coming out. Okay, that one for sure. I'm just gonna go through here and see. So what messages? Okay, I'll get one more card. There we go. Okay. So the first card that came out, this is kind of maybe where we're beginning, right? Is you're not alone. So this card right here, it's reminding you that if you're feeling in isolation, if you feel like this isolation itself has been kind of getting you down, there's a whole nother side that we aren't always aware of. And whether you know it or not, you're calling for, you know, not wanting to be alone. If you call out and just be like, oh, I just feel so alone. I just feel so isolated. That will open up the communications, the lines of communications with your guides. You have to invite them in. You have to say, you know, come in. I need your help. I need your guidance, right? And there may not be that physical connection. You can always get that physical connection through let's say this group, right? That's more of not face to face, but we have each other to kind of rely on, right? We can go in and ask our questions and put those there. And then, you know, there's always going to be somebody there to kind of help you through. And this card is reminding you that, you know, even though we're all isolated, we're really not alone because we have the another side to us. There's this physical plane, but then there's the spiritual plane. There's the realm of infinite possibilities, right? So it's just mentally staying connected to that and allowing yourself to be open to that, right? Just opening up to that, knowing that you're not alone. That the next card that came out was Karmic Relationships. So this is a big one. This one I find has been coming up a lot. And it's only because right now the karmic stories are all coming to an end. The karmic ties, the patterns, the cycles, things are coming to an end in this lifetime, right? So that's why things seem to be a lot harder than they need to be, is because we're being shown our lessons. We're being shown our karmic patterns so that we can break them. We can step off the hamster wheel, right? And it's totally possible. The Karmic Relationships, this card is also a reminder of the polarities, of the contrast in life, right? There's always contrast. And what contrast means really is that there's always going to be a positive to a negative, right? And without that negative, you wouldn't be on the search for the positive, right? If everything was okay, if you lived in a place that everything was perfect and everything was wonderful and you never have to ask for anything, then you're not going to get that pull, that desire, that drive to move forward. You're just going to be meh, right? So that's why there's contrast. That's why there's polarity, is because that gives the zest of life, right? There's that opposite that kind of make things interesting, right? It's just a part of the game. So coming into this place, this earth that we're on, we're going to have all the types of contrast to experience, because that's what we asked for when we came here, whether we know it or not. And that's going to invite conflict, because of course conflict will come from, you know, the positive and the negative not coming together. But the thing is that the conflict in there is a really big chance for growth. It's really a place where it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? You know, it's about seeing things in a different way. And that's what I think causes a lot of conflict, is that you know, you have two opposing parties and they're very firm in their views. But it's when you open it up and say, okay, well, maybe it could be a different way, right? It's just opening up your mind enough to allowing that to come forward, right? To come through. The next card that came out was, the 7 Star Sisters. The 7 Star Sisters. So this one, I'm going to bring out the book because I feel like there's a bigger message that's going to come from here. So birthing creations, right? Building those dreams, dreaming big dreams, right? So building those creations, tapestry of life and expression. So the 7 Star Sisters. I'm going to pull this up and see what it says. Right here. Okay, let's see what it says. All right, it says, there are new creations that want to be born. Beauty that is yearning to be woven. New consciousness that is longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you are being called to surrender to these creations and usher in a new area of consciousness and do your bit of weaving the web of life. Right? So that kind of comes back to dreaming those big dreams, allowing yourself to wave the tapestry of life the way that you want it. And that's the thing, is that we have more control out of this tapestry. We can make it designed the way we want it. And that's just it. It's just coming to this place of allowing yourself to do the work, right? So it says this card is the artist and the midwife. You are being called to ponder the questions. So what do you want birth to you right now? What do you want to bring into this world, right? What are new creations being whispered in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? What artistry, what creativity is being pulled from you, right? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They occur when they find themselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is renowned as the planet is manifesting, creating. So many of us have forgotten about how to create. Somewhere along the lines, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, and as poets. Yet, to be human is to be creative, right? So creativity is a part of your true nature. So when you tune into that part of that creative part of you and you allow that creative part to express, you have this freedom, this part of you that's unchained, and untethered and untied, and you finally begin to feel free, because when you start expressing yourself in that creative nature, you allow your true self to shine, and then you're adding light to the world. As you shine your light, that gives other people permission to do the same, right? You lead by example. So it says, perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, such as a new business or a book, or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty into your home or into what you cook, right? Or perhaps you're being called to, oh no, I read that already, sorry. So regardless of the end result, you're being called to express yourself through your own creativity, to surrender to the creative projects that both scare you and excite you. That's the biggest thing, is that when something scares us, we tend to, step back and convince ourselves that it's too hard, or, not time, or it's going to take too much out of us, or somebody's going to judge us for it, right? But that's the thing, is that those are the things that you need to start going towards. And this is that reminder. So to find a way to weave the beauty in your everyday life, for there is creativity in spirit and soul is present. And the world that needs those qualities, the world needs those qualities now more than ever, right? And that's what this card is reminding you of. So that's big. It's just basically tuning into that place of creativity and allowing that creativity to shine. What is it that you are drawn to? What is your special talent? Do you even know? Are you in tune with that? Or has it been so long that you've used it that you're not even sure that it was yours to begin with, right? now is the time to kind of tune into that and come to a place of just freedom, of freely expressing yourself. So whatever it is that you've been kind of curious or thinking about or putting on the back burner, now is the time to bring that out, dust it off, and give it a try and see what you can actually do with it. I bet you could probably go a lot farther with it than you actually ever imagined, which is big. All right. So I'm going to tune in to our animal totem of the week. I love pulling out the animal totems because they usually have a really deep message for you. And I don't know about you guys, but I know I have been getting animal messages. So the other day, I was kind of being hard on myself and beating myself up a little bit. And I had this image just popped into my mind out of nowhere of a baby deer, right? Just being born, and its legs are really weak and wobbly. And I'm like, why did that come to my mind, right? So I looked the meaning of deer, and what that actually meant was stop being hard on yourself. You know, everyone starts off in this place of unsureness, but it's just keeping going with what you feel is true to you, right? And it was crazy. It was like the message was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment. And that's why I've been tuning in to a lot more animals. I don't know about you, but I know for me, that's the symbols that have been coming forward. So I want to know from you, what symbols or signs have you been seeing lately? Has it been feathers? Has it been repeating numbers? Has it been coins being dropped down? You know, what is it that you've been kind of coming across and you're like, oh, you just kind of have that weird synchronistic feeling about it, but then you just toss it aside? Well, these are things that are coming to you on purpose, and they're coming to tell you a message, right? So I'm going to tap into our cards this week. I'm going to see what animal is the totem this week for the energy of this group, for the people of the collective, and see what we need to know. What is the guidance? But yeah, if you have any, these cards don't want to go. If you've been coming across any signs or symbols, share it in the comments. I want to know. It's very interesting. I know for me, big time has been animals. So what is the animal totem this week? Okay, here it is. Ooh, the animal totem for this week is a goat. Okay, so the card itself, it says act from your innate wisdom. That is interesting. So it's interesting because if you look at this picture right here, you can see that the goat has a third eye, and his third eye is activated and it's illuminated, and every part of him all around it is also illuminated too, right? Which is interesting because at the beginning of this video, we did that illumination exercise. So it's interesting how it all just kind of ties in, right, at the end. Okay, so let's look at the goat. What kind of guidance do we have from a goat? Okay, so the guidance, it says, when you choose this card, your guidance is to be free and dependent within your own nature of yourself, of your loving and caring family of a community. If you feel misunderstood, remember that you carry in your aura light and wisdom that aren't always recognized. So do any menial tasks that come your way graciously for the part of the earth, for it's a part of the earth to help it go along. And it says you are invited to look at the circumstances of your life and challenging situations from a higher perspective. So that goes back to what I channeled earlier, which was pay attention to those triggers. Become curious about those triggers, because those, looking at these circumstances of your life, they could be challenging, but if you're able to look at it from a higher perspective, you're going to see it in a different way, and you're also going to pull out anything that is going to help you grow from that, right? And the growth is what really moves you forward in life. It says this is going to bring you so much more peace and enable your innate qualities of love, loyalty, and caringness to develop. And when you can do this, your own essential wisdom is going to shine through, which means you're going to shed those layers that have been kind of keeping you safe in this little space, but it's not been keeping you safe. It's been keeping you in the dark is what it's been doing, right? So allowing yourself to look at these challenging situations as what they are, lessons, right? when you can do this, you're going to shine. So you will be acknowledged by those around you. Recognize who you are, and the many will be drawn to you. So when you know yourself, obviously through and through, people are going to be drawn to that, right? People are going to come, and the right type of people are going to come. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing, is that the right type of people are going to come. So look at any situation. If you think about it, goats, the wild goats, right? You think of mountain goats. They live a hard life. They're up in the mountains, and when they come across, others, they have to defend themselves, right? They've got the horns of wisdom. That's what these represent, right? So the horns of wisdom. So it's basically allowing your horns of wisdom to grow metaphysically, of course. So yeah, I hope that these messages resonate with you. If they do, let me know. Let me know what parts, resonate with you the most. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. But that is it for me this week. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today and checking this out. And again, I'm going to be sharing this video on YouTube. So if you wanted to share this with somebody that you feel that would, needs to hear these messages, I will be sharing that in the group as well. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I send you so much love and so much light, and I'll see you again very soon. Okay? Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.